Hey guys, gonna make this probably another quick video today, but I just wanted to talk about the general topic of getting free things, free stuff. Specifically, I want to talk about the ways that. Sorry, I'm talking slow. I'm trying to put the right words in my head. The way that organizations will try and get people to come to their events or do things for them by just giving away very minute, meaningless free stuff. This is a very big thing in college, especially because you have every student organization is getting members and getting people to show up to their events by giving away free stuff. There's very few organizations that can sustain a membership or sustain their organization as a whole without giving away free things and having people show up that way. As a president of an organization on my campus, I learned this very quickly that if I didn't have pizza or sandwiches at an event with a guest speaker, no one would show up. It was sad, honestly, because I don't know, for me personally, I like to go to some events just for the sake of what the event is. For example, those events I'd run where I'd be giving out pizza and sandwiches and things like that would be events like having the president of a civil engineering firm come in and talk about the type of jobs they're hiring for, what he looks for in a job candidate, giving out his business card, talking to you, making a connection. There's a handful of people that have gotten jobs from showing up to those events just by talking to presidents and higher-ups in organizations. So it's a very beneficial thing, and it always makes me wonder why the real draw-in for those events is free pizza when it's such a meaningless thing. You can get a slice of free pizza for $1 at some places, but getting the opportunity to meet with a president of an organization is just so valuable. It's amazing how that trade-off is, especially for college students. Another big thing is that usually free things are given away for filling out surveys and raffles from the school. And a lot of this also applies for outside of school, but I know in schools where you see this happen relentlessly all over the place. And the raffles and survey thing, I feel like that's a more applicable situation for when to give out free stuff. Yeah, some of your results are going to get skewed dramatically if you're doing a survey. For example, there's a lot of people that go into those surveys and click the first option as fast as they can just to process a survey through and get whatever free thing they're supposed to or get the chance for a free thing. I just filled out a survey this morning that was like, what do you think of the health facilities on campus and stuff? And I'm entering into a raffle to win a sweatshirt or something like that. So personally, I don't mind doing those surveys because I want to try and believe that the school cares about improving their facilities, improving the school as a whole, and improving student experience to make the school as a whole better. A lot of times the school doesn't prove that to me. It seems like a lot of these surveys and the outcry of students just gets pushed under the rug and the school doesn't care about it. Their ultimate goal is to improve their research budget, bring in more D1 athletes to improve their teams, to get donors and boosters and things like that. A lot of my school, it just feels like a corporate, like for-profit type of organization, which I know it isn't. It's technically not a for-profit, but it just has that feeling because it seems like anytime students are crying out for, improvements to student life things, there's such a little investment that goes into them. For example, we just had a new athletic center that cost $118 million to build. And meanwhile, the elevator in my dorm has been broken for 2 years. Like, these little things, they've tried fixing an elevator a couple times. It hasn't worked. They need a significant repair to that elevator, and I realize that costs money. But if you could dish out $118 million for a basketball court, I feel like the funds are there to make widespread campus improvements. So now that I've kind of ranted about my school for a bit and went off track, I want to get back to what I was talking about with free stuff. And the last way I've seen a lot of people give out free stuff is volunteering events. This kind of goes with the first point I was talking about, where it's student-run events a lot of times in a school environment. But volunteering events, especially, it's primarily campus-run event. For example, I help at those open houses, and at those open houses, we're given a free dry fit polo and a $10 voucher to anywhere on campus. We always end up going to the on-campus pizza place because that's the best bang for your buck. You get 2 specialty slices, garlic knots, and a drink. So those kind of things, I understand why you need to give out free stuff because a lot of things wouldn't have enough volunteers if you didn't give out free things or didn't have some kind of incentive. But again, it's kind of sad that I think for an event like an open house, there's not as many people that go purely for the free things, but I feel like it definitely diminishes the passion and motivation of students for other volunteering events. A big one at my school is the Honors College requires all students to have 30 hours of community service, 15 in school, 15 out of school every single semester. And a lot of the ones run by the department or run by the Honors College as a whole have some kind of benefit to them as far as, oh, if you go to this event, we give you these honors hours and this kind of thing. And a lot of times, so many of the volunteers that do the Honors College run events just couldn't care less about what they're doing. And I get some of the things aren't flashy, but there's one where, you know, they're going to a Newark public school and helping out. And sure, I guess some people probably enjoy that a little bit, but at the end of the day, they're just doing it for the credit and to get a benefit from it. And I guess it just diminishes the value of that task a bit. So in my opinion, the way like I try and judge what events I should go to for free stuff is if I have absolutely no interest in the event, I won't go. Like, just getting free things isn't enough incentive for me to spend my time and waste someone else's time going to an event. For example, there's a lot of people that come to our civil engineering events, our CS majors, business majors, things like that, just because they heard there might be some free pizza or something like that, which is absurd to me, especially because there's just no benefit to this for you. And at the end of the day, if you're coming up to me and asking me about like, oh, what's this event about, when it's about a civil engineering firm and you're a computer science major, you're wasting both of our time. And then also, I think it's okay to be encouraged by free things. Like, I've signed up for many events because that I wouldn't have normally because I heard that there's free stuff. For example, this is technically Student Appreciation Week at NJIT, which I could do a whole rant about how that's a load of garbage. But anyway, there's different departments and facilities on campus are giving out free stuff so that you can do a meet and greet with their given departments. And there's most of those departments I don't really care that much about, but there's some where I don't know much about them and I don't mind learning more, and the incentive of free stuff makes me want to learn a little more. An example of this would be the new NJIT's persistence and re-enrollment department, which started last year to help students in terms of making sure they're signed up for classes and helping transfer students get their credits, all those kind of things. So it's something that I have at least a little bit of interest in, because things like, oh, what causes the classes to be shut down is something that I didn't learn until this past winter break when one of my classes was shut down. But if I would have gone to a department like this or been in touch with them more, I might have found out sooner that, hey, if this class doesn't get 15 students, we're going to drop it and you need to have a backup plan. So that's one department where usually I wouldn't go to visit them, wouldn't try and talk to them, but they're giving out some free food, and it's encouraging enough for me to want to give it a shot and see what they're all about and see if, you know, their staff is competent and helpful, because a lot of NJIT staff is not competent and helpful, and that is why the departments are run so poorly, and it just helps me figure things out. For example, I know for the civil engineering department, our advising is not competent or helpful, so I know that if I need help in that respect, I need to go somewhere else or figure it out myself, and I take the time to do that. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all I was going to say in this video. So I'll wrap it up here, keep it a little shorter than the 15 minutes that I usually am pressing right up against the clock on. So with that, thank you all, as always, for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a nice day.